Josh. How's the bye week, mate?
Yeah, it was really good. We had a couple of days off, and I managed to get away down the Great Ocean Road and see some sights I haven't seen before. So it was really nice to have a little break.
Oh, beauty. I guess the big question is on everyone's mind is Cameron Munster. Is he back this week?
Oh, who knows with Munster? He's always doing his own thing. Hopefully he'll be in. I guess the 3 days off would have helped him. We haven't trained today yet or anything like that, so still waiting to see what the team makeup is for this week. But I know he was on track. He was doing a bit of training last week, so hopefully today he'll be in most of the session, I would expect.
Nice. A couple of other blokes, like Joe Chan and a few other blokes that had a few knocks. How's everyone sort of shaping up? Are they all fit?
Yeah, again, we've had a few days off, so I haven't seen all the boys, but I know like Joey just had a little infection in his hand, so hopefully he'll be okay. I can't really think of anyone else, but I think for the majority of the squad, everyone was fit and healthy to leave, so hopefully they return that way as well. A few of the boys will be looking to come back in the next week or so for sure, I would think.
Broncos always a pretty good battle, Broncos and Storm, and I know it was a pretty special one for you last year when you got to captain against the Bronx. It's a pretty big game for the club, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think Storm and Broncos have always had that rivalry. They've always gone at each other pretty hard, and last year for me, you mentioned it was a big game for me. First game captaining the side, and I think I actually played my 100th NRL game up there against the Broncos as well last year. So a few milestones against them. Obviously, they're a really good side, and they went really well last year, and they've started this year well too. So we'll have to be on our game, but the boys should be refreshed coming off a break and looking to go out there on Thursday night and put a really positive performance in.
Beauty. Thanks, mate.
Never good losing going into a bye. Was it worse losing going into a bye and Easter at the same time?
Yeah, I guess when you have a loss, it sort of weighs on you for the entire week. So when you have the bye week, it goes a little bit longer than that, doesn't it? But we had a few troops down, and it was probably a good few lessons for us in a few areas. We started the season really well in our first two games, and the Warriors game wasn't as convincing and probably had a few flaws in it, so they really showed when we went up to Newcastle, and that's some of the areas we got to work on last week in a bye week where we could, I guess, up the intensity a little bit to work on a few of those areas.
Running around with a different number on your back this season, has it changed your game at all?
A little bit, I guess. It's all sort of the same in the ruck forwards. I've sort of had to adjust. My minutes have been adjusted a little bit, so I've got to adjust, I guess, my game in areas and show a little bit more intensity in places I probably wouldn't have last year. So just trying to get the hang of that, and each week trying to build on my game.
Welchie should be back hopefully this week. Nas is a possibility. You won't have to carry as much load if those two are around.
Yeah, Welchie in the first couple of rounds, he was really good for us. I thought he'd come off the bench and brought a lot of intensity, and he's got a few offloads there that really helped break the game open for us. As far as Nas, I think it's obvious to see what he brings, the impact that he can bring off the bench for us. It'd be great to have both of them back, but wait and see how the team lines up this week.
Did you see any of his North Sydney Bears action, or were you too busy thinking about other things?
We come out and watched a little bit of it. We only seen him for 5 minutes, I'd say, before he sort of went off, and then we had to go in the sheds and start preparing. But Nas he'd be one of our most experienced players. He's played for a long time. He's a 2-time premiership winning player. So, I'm confident that he just needed to get a little bit of game fitness back, and he'll come back into the side and fit in flawlessly, I think.